In math, there are two kinds of special right triangles. One is a 30-60-90 triangle and one is a 45-45-90 triangle, and that's what this video is about. So first let's go over what are the sides, what are the ratios of a 45-45-90 triangle. And those sides are x, x, and x root 2. Those are really going to come in handy to remember. X and x means that those two sides are going to have the same length. And then the hypotenuse, the side across from the right angle, is going to be that side times the square root of 2. So let me give you a couple examples. What if x were equal to the number 1? Well, then this right triangle would have legs of 1 and 1, and then the hypotenuse would be that leg 1 times the square root of 2, or 1 root 2. I can also just write root 2. Now let's say x were 7. Then in this 45-45-90 right triangle, the two legs would be 7 and 7, and then the hypotenuse would be 7 times the square root of 2. I'm ready to look at some tougher examples, so let's go. Before we get to these, please make sure to go down and click subscribe at the bottom right corner of your screen so that you're informed when new videos come out that can help you in your math classes. So looking at the left triangle, notice it's not labeled as a 45-45-90 triangle, but there are markings in the triangle. And notice that these two sides, by those congruent markings, you know they're congruent. And because those sides are congruent, you know you have an isosceles right triangle, which is also a 45-45-90 triangle. And hey, we know one of the sides is 7. We already did this example. If that leg is 7, that means this side is also going to be 7, and then the hypotenuse is going to be 7 root 2. Now at this 45-45-90 triangle, this time we are given the hypotenuse. This is the first time we've been given the hypotenuse. So we are given the side that is supposed to be the x root 2 side. So if you notice that, we can make the conclusion that x must be 10, and therefore these two legs must have a length of 10. I think we're ready for an even added challenge. So in the triangle on the left, we are given one of the legs, 8 root 3. So that is one of the sides x. Once again, this is not labeled a 45-45-90 triangle, but we are given that these two angles are congruent. Well, if those two base angles are congruent, we know that these two sides are congruent, and thus we have a 45-45-90 triangle. So if we know that leg is 8 root 3, this leg also must be 8 root 3. Now to get to the hypotenuse. So as I mentioned before, to get to the hypotenuse from one of the legs, you must multiply the leg x times the square root of 2. So that means in order to determine this hypotenuse, we must take the leg, 8 root 3, and multiply it by the square root of 2. Multiplying square root of 3 by square root of 2 gives us the square root of 6. So this hypotenuse is 8 times the square root of 6. And one more challenging problem, but I know we can do it. So in this example, we are given the hypotenuse, 6. So we are given the side, the x root 2 side. All right, so I'm going to actually write an equation off to the side. So we are given that the x root 2 side is equal to 6. I want to solve for what x is equal to because that's what I would label as the other two legs. In order to solve for x, I need to divide by the square root of 2. So that the square root of 2 will cancel, and I'm left with x is equal to 6 over the square root of 2. Let's go ahead and rationalize that denominator. If you forget how to rationalize denominators, make sure to click here and watch this video to help review. When that is rationalized, I would have 6 root 2 over 2, which reduces to 3 root 2. And that is what you're going to label as the two legs of this 45-45-90 triangle. This leg would be 3 root 2, as well as this leg over here at 3 root 2. And that is how you solve your special right triangles of 45-45-90. Make sure to click subscribe down below so that you're notified when new videos come out that can help you in your math classes. Thanks so much for watching.